This is a day 5 of mock interview with ChatGPT. Mm, okay, so let's start. Hey ChatGPT, I want you to act as a hiring manager at Doctor Anywhere. Uh, I'm applying for the data engineering role. Can you help me to do mock interview and give feedback based on the logical and structure of my answer?
Sure, I'd be happy to help you with a mock interview for the data engineering role at Doctor Anywhere. Let's get started. Can you tell me about a challenging data engineering project you worked on and how you approached it?
Yes, my most challenging
Take
project that I'm working on is LACE, which is stand for Lead Allocation and Curation Engine. So the project is to convey lead and enrich and optimize those and serve to the sales so that they can call on customer on 10 products of the bank like TD, CD, bond fund, etc. And the most challenging with the project is there are so many pattern, so many ETL pipelines pattern that we have to enable, and it give us um, some overhead and high cognitive load. So my short term approach, I centralize uh, the patterns into one document so that we can look it up real quick and know what to do and when to design those. And my but I think the long term solution might be we have to redesign or restructure those pipelines so that it can be more efficient.
Thank you for sharing about your project. You provided a good overview of the challenge and how you centralized ETL patterns as a short term solution. For a more structured response, consider clearly outlining each phase: the initial challenge, your specific actions, and the impact of your solution. This helps interviewers see your thought process and the results of your efforts. Overall, it's a strong answer. Let's dive deeper into how you measured the success of your solution. Could you share more about that?
Yes. So for our project, um, our final goal is to convey customer into buying our products. So our criteria for the project is the conversion rate and the money gained, uh, where after enabling those pipelines, those the project. And for the result, for the head office leads, we double the conversion rate from 3% to 6.1%. And for the drop off leads, we saved about 3% conversion rate, which means the product, I mean, the customer interact with our uh, take combined touch point like web app and drop at some point, but normally we don't have a lead conversion. mm, but after enable those, sales now can, based on the customer drop off point, to continue calling and bringing customer buying products. That's when we saved um, the CR conversion rate. Are you there? Hello. I finished my answer. Hello, morning. Morning. Maybe maybe I will end this session and bring on another one. So let's see. Hey ChatGPT, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. How can I assist you?
Yes, please do continue our mock interview.
Sure. How did you measure the success of your centralized ETL pattern solution, and what were some of the outcomes or improvements you observed?
Oh, you want to ask about the success of my uh, centralized document. It's hard to say because it's like a sidetrack. It's not the real, you know, the criteria that we measuring on to rate the success of the project. It's just a sidetrack to make sure that employment employees working efficiently. And for me personally, I believe time of employee is another resource, is another cost. If someone, you know, if some employees have to spend time on, overheading stuff, it's not efficient and it's costing the bank. So I would say I would measure the the centralized document solution of mine by the time saved um, of the employees using it versus the time that they have to spend to look up at the code, look up um, at other distributed separate documents to know what to work on. So that's how I would measure the success uh, of my centralized document solution. And for me personally, it saved me, um, I believe, 2 hours a week.
Great explanation. Highlighting the time saved for employees as a measure of success is a strong point. It shows you understand the value of efficiency in a practical way. For future reference, you could also mention any feedback from the team or specific metrics that demonstrate the solution's effectiveness. Overall, you did well. Let's move on to the next question. Can you describe a time when you had to optimize a data pipeline for better performance? What steps did you take?
Yes, I did have to optimize one step the pipeline. So our main flow is we have one fact table and about 20 dimensional tables along with the fact table. So our final job is to join those 20 dimensional tables with the fact table to enrich customer data. And the job took about 2 hours, and it's quite long and not efficient. So what I do is I realized that we can recompute the those 20 dimensional tables before the fact table. So what I do is I um, essentially I would want to create a materialized view of the pre-compute table. So I create a job that run parallelly with the fact table to join 20 um, dimensional table into one pre-compute table. And the and I there are some optimizing technique that I use. First, I do catch. I ca- because our logic is very complex and we reuse the CTE a lot. So with Spark, if we don't catch, it will recompute the CTE again and again. So first, I do catch those repeated CTE and repeated transformation. Second, I do the um, broadcast joy because if we don't do broadcast joy default by default, Spark would um, Spot would do the shuffle joy, which take a lot of time. So with broadcast joy on small tables, we will we don't need to do the shuffle. And third, I do the I enable the adaptive query execution to avoid data skewing. I am investigating in doing the bucket joy um, and the sorting method because AQE is not quite it can cannot be relied on 100%. And finally, I increase I double the number of workers. And the costing model of the glue job of AWS is you is the cost of the job is the DPU multiplied by the time it ran. So by doubling the number of workers, it it halves the time running. So basically, the cost stay the same, but the time reduced by half. So essentially, after doing those optimization technique, I reduce the running time of the job from 2 hours into 20 minutes. So that's what I do to optimize the pipeline.
That's a detailed and well structured answer. You clearly demonstrated your understanding of optimization techniques, like caching, broadcast joins, and adaptive query execution, that are essential in data engineering. Highlighting how you reduced the job runtime from 2 hours to 20 minutes is a strong quantifiable result that showcases the impact of your efforts. One suggestion would be to briefly touch on any challenges you faced during optimization and how you overcame them. Overall, your response was excellent. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
You're welcome. If you have any more questions or need further practice, just let me know.
I'm ready for the final question.
Great. Here's the final question. Can you describe a situation where you had to deal with incomplete or inconsistent data? How did you handle it?
This is an interesting question. Let me think about it for a moment.
Take your time. When you're ready, feel free to share your response.
So we do get some incomplete data from source uh, when we doing our latest project um, because there are some problem with the source system at that day. So there was some message missing, and essentially the we discovered that about 1 week the after the the thing happened. So what we do is that after investigating and you know pointing the error, the root cause, we essentially have to do the backfill. And to do the backfill, we our job is you know is able to do that. We have a backfill flow, and so we order the source system to you know to to resend the missing data records, and we and at our end we run the pipeline on demand with the backfill option to get those new record into the job. So that essentially how we would do with missing records.
That's a solid approach. Handling incomplete data by identifying the root cause, requesting the missing data, and using a backfill process is effective. It's great that you have a structured way to handle such situations. For completeness, you might also want to mention any preventative measures you took to avoid similar issues in the future, like improving data validation or monitoring. Overall, well done. If you'd like any more practice or feedback, feel free to let me know.
Thank you very much for your feedback. So I would call it a day. Thank you very much for your support.
You're welcome. Have a great day.
Yes, have a great day. Goodbye.